Afternoon, everybody. I didn't know if it started, so I good it there. Welcome into the Winklerverse. Friday, the 6th of June of 2025. On the docket, Grant Bills alongside Paul Immig is here as well. I'll just start with my neighbors are leaving. I don't know if you could hear that or not. I don't know what audio is picking up where.
I hear nothing.
Oh, okay. I had to open the window because there's no ventilation on my first floor.
No,
we don't have any fans in the first level.
Seems like a structural flaw.
Those old Shorewood homes.
Yeah, the old bungalow.
Mm-hmm.
So what I realized last night is that I've essentially been on the air every time the Pacers have done the Pacers.
Oh, I'm so sorry for that.
So I have these dialogues with myself like, I understand this is probably not, I could be more professional. But also I care about this. And, I think there's some level of theater to it. Like, oh, this guy's having a meltdown. But them doing it against the Bucks, the Cavs, the Knicks, and now the Thunder. And you knew it was going to happen. They were up 15 at half, 12.
I felt like the crowd and the Thunder players
knew
as their collective assholes tightened. Like you could feel it.
So when I saw, because the first half everyone's like turnovers.
Yeah.
They had 9 points off the 19 turnovers in the first half. They had 11 points off the 25 in the game. That's criminal. And so I thought, at the beginning, I thought this feels like a game the Pacers will win, but the Thunder will win, but the Pacers definitely can. The odds of them doing that the 4 times they did are 1 in 75 million.
I saw the 4 times. If you combine all the percentages of, ridiculous.
And, I do believe it's gotten, I don't like the Pacers and I don't like Halliburton and I don't like Nembhard. And there's still a lot of how is it these guys? If anyone's ever going to do it, how is it these guys? There's still a lot of that. The thing that I hate the most about it is it's just so, it doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be. And I wish I could be like, oh, watch this team. They're dominating. This is so fun. I wish I could get into this. Maybe if it was a Western Conference team, I could. But to have to be on the air, these are never happening on a weekend. I am greatly affected by these games, and I'm on the air as they're going on. So I almost talk as a plea, to my bosses, please understand this is hard. I'm watching this. This is hard I'm trying to do Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking out the side of it's very difficult. So it sucks. Pacers, this sucks. I'm not budging on Thunder in 5. Let's ride that out.
Mm-hmm.
But this sucks.
But again, if you don't want to be replaced by AI, keep doing it.
If you guys thought that the Pacers were always going to come back and win that game, you were the only ones, because I was driving home, so I couldn't watch. I was listening on the radio, but I was checking Twitter, whatever. And every other tweet was, so the Thunder are just going to cruise, huh? So this is the finals that we got, because they're up, 15 in the third quarter? I'm like, how do you idiots keep doing this? What compels you to tweet such a thing? It's the third quarter of an NBA game. Not that it feels like the finals, because it didn't even look like it on the court or anything. Didn't really feel it just didn't feel that big. But I don't understand how people are
that's ABC's fault more than
I agree.
Yeah.
But so many people, countless people, lots of Wisconsin radio people tweeted, well, it looks like the Thunder are they're that good. It's could you wait until the end of the game? How many times are we got to watch this happen? I don't understand people. I don't get it.
The Thunder they have to win by double digits, which means they have to be up by 30 for the final 5.
I feel like my Thunder skepticism slightly vindicated last night. I don't know. They're very good. No. They're the best possible version of what Mike Budenholzer's Bucks were. They're that, but they're just the best possible version of that. But the best possible version of that is still a version of the early Mike Budenholzer Bucks. Got tight at the end. They couldn't get a bucket.
And I don't understand why they didn't play They're bigs.
It's. Did you talk last night on national radio, Bart, about changing your starting lineup when you're the 1 seed coming off of a 68 win season?
Yeah, he made an adjustment prior to the game before there was an adjustment to be made. Like, Rick Carlisle's a good coach, but also he must be in this dude's head to think he needs to make an adjustment to start a 21-year-old right away.
Yeah.
And then play Hartenstein 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And they weren't on the court at all, him and Chet. Like, I think it was a 9. They had a -9 in the fourth quarter when both of them were off.
The thing I was thinking about is, like, now that you didn't lose that game because you started Case and Wallace over Hartenstein. You didn't. That's not the reason that things went down the way it did. But do you, as the Thunder now, go back to Hartenstein and admit defeat? Because I don't think you should do that either. I think now you have to kind of be like, okay, that's not the reason we lost. I like that Daigneault trusted his gut, or I'm sure there was analytics behind that gut feeling, but it was strange. And I think Richard Jefferson did a good job on the broadcast calling out, like, if I'm a Pacers player, I'm feeling good about this, that we just started the series on the road as the underdog and they're adjusting their starting lineup. It was strange.
No, I
would bet they stick with it. I mean,
I think they got to go back.
To me, that's an overreaction.
Well, it's a course correction to an overreaction.
Maybe. But had they won, you would have kept it, right?
I don't understand why they did it in the first place.
I don't either. But they had a week.
I haven't heard his rationale on that. Maybe he said it. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Hear it. They wanted quicker pace, I guess, but I thought coming in, the size was going to be one of the things that the Thunder had an advantage over.
Mm-hmm.
They got 2 7-footers.
Yeah.
I don't think the Pacers have any. Maybe that Bradley dude.
Oh, Miles Turner's
6'11".
Okay.
Bad news. Bad news. I was at my physical.
Oh no. You don't want to hear bad news after I got back from my cookout.
Oh no, the doctor was like proud of me.
Oh, for your weight loss?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Good. I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, but when they did my height, I'm no longer 5'10" and a half.
Have you shrunk or grown?
It was right even at 5'10".
Oh, you're shrinking. You've hit the shrink stage.
I've always claimed, because that half is big. The 5'10", and I'm basically 5'11", which is basically 6 feet.
Might as well be.
The dumbest things I've ever heard.
Well, like, it's a mathematical proof that 99 is essentially 100.
Sure.
Essentially.
So I'm essentially 6 feet. And now being 2 inches lower, I can't claim that anymore. Yeah.
I just don't like Miles Turner. I don't think he's good. I think he's soft defensively, and he banks in a 3. And Doris Burke is like, I know it was a bank shot, but still, how many bigs can do that? I'm like, okay, but what is that?
My favorite story of the week is that Doris Burke's job is not safe.
Well, if she could do one sentence without saying to the cup.
It's
to the cup.
Doris Burke is an excellent analyst, but because she's been put in this role, she has to be like Mark Jackson had, mama, there goes that man.
You don't, though. You don't need that. You don't.
Yeah, you do.
No,
yeah,
you don't.
Yeah, you do. You know, they make alternate broadcasts for people like you. Stop coming into my main I just want the just generic thing.
Listen,
she's a great analyst. She has good basketball information, but now she's got to dress it up and be more of an entertainer, which is that's not what she is.
I don't know where you got this idea that professional sports are supposed to be fun.
Want to hear my Reggie Miller impression?
It's supposed to be a learning experience.
Let's hear it.
Stop it!
That's pretty good.
Stop it!
I didn't expect that to be good. That was half decent.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller.
And now it's wearing down Mike Breen. Tough day for people my age. Lil Wayne is washed, and Mike Breen might be washed too. The internet piling on both. And I don't think it's Mike Breen's fault. I think it's the fact that he's got those other 2 knobs with him.
What's Mike Breen's? What's the analysis online?
Well, it's not high level analysis. It's just X, the everything app. But it's just saying that he kind of botched the Halliburton call, and there's no double bang on.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like a bang. That was worth. But are bangs more for threes?
It might be. Yeah, it's a good point. You can't bang a layup, which is why I remember that Tatum spinning layup that was a game winner the other year, 2 years ago, and Breen was like, "Yeah, I botched it. What are you supposed to do with that?
Game-winning
layup?"
Remember when Jason Tatum gave his post-game interview and said every greatest cliche in one?
Okay, so
we did it.
So the problem.
Anything is possible.
Okay, so the problem that I was thinking about this. Are there any original athletes in the NBA, or are they all just the current carbon copy of someone that they looked up to? And I'm serious about that. I've been thinking about this. Halliburton has to go to the things that people have done before him. You just mentioned the Tatum example. It's just like, these are the things that I like. What, where, and I know this sounds like old man. This is probably very much in that realm. But I'm like, I was thinking, like, why is there no originality? Why is it all like Tatum wins the title? He has to do the Garnett stuff. Halliburton hits the game tying 2, thought it was a winning 3. He's got to go to the Reggie Miller choke. Like, I don't, this is like a your generation grant thing, but it's like, come on, do
well, the slam dunk contest is no good either.
It's not, by the way.
Well, you do run out of things at a certain point. I mean, LeBron, to his credit, like, he's had some good, some things through the years. I know, Paul, you're not going to see eye to eye with me on that, but that's fine.
It's like 311 once said, "Come original, you got to come original. I'll entertain us."
I know who 311 is, but I'm not familiar with that.
Someone's listening big. Oh,
Bart knows. He's letting you hang out to dry right now, which is rude. This is where he's supposed to step in and sing the next.
I only know that one and Amber.
I know Amber.
You gotta know all mixed up. You don't know what to do.
Okay.
How about drink a little this, some? Know that we have always been down.
No, I never got into them. Like, there was a group of people I was associated with that were like really into them, so I was like retreating.
You're like, give me my death cab.
I was also never that into Sublime.
I mean, he never even got to see his success because he died before the album came out.
Yeah.
I texted Bart about it.
No, don't. I need to make the $2.30 I make off these. Checks in the mail.
I did text Bart about a song that I heard on Sirius XM this weekend, just knowing that Bart would have some background or experience with the song. I didn't remember what it was.
It was the Heights, How Do You Talk to an Angel?
It sounded like Crowded. I just thought it was Crowded House. I couldn't believe that it wasn't. And you said you used to sing it to somebody or something.
A girl. You know what I also can't believe is the savings that you can get at happyplacehemp.com. 25% off each and every order. Pop one of those seltzers over the weekend. That's a nice kind of breezy day drink. And also at night, and then the gummies, and at any time. The night gummies have been good. Obviously, we'll take some of the other ones as well. The Delta 8s, the Delta 9s. They're all available for you in Muskego at their shop. You can go say hi, College Court, or you can also just go online, happyplacehemp.com. The promo code is BART, 25% off every order. What have we been doing this now? 2-3 years?
Holy balls.
The promo code has been good for that long. happyplacehemp.com. Yeah, when did I fire up the pod? In
2022, I feel
2022.
Summer. Sometime in summer.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Happy anniversary.
The day that Hall of Famer Leroy Butler was unceremoniously in one fell swoop on the air, then off the air.
You guys have
been Leroy yesterday, by the way.
He's one of the great ones.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah, but
Was Charlie Barron's in his shadow?
No, he wasn't actually. Leroy was the main event. I said hello, said thank you because he did the show, but that was it.
Every single time, without fail, for years and years and years, seeing Leroy, he would always say, "The guy with the best hair in sports media."
It's kind of cool.
That mop?
I know.
Consider
he saw something in it.
Consider
What
everybody.
about this?
I can't tell you what he called you. That really looks bad. You really should not want that. Oh my God.
Are you sweating?
Yeah, I was playing trick shots with my son. He's on the couch right now watching YouTube. God only knows what he's watching.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully he's not watching your podcast.
I am just going to like peek at the TV if you have a
go ahead.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. Paul, what's on the docket first?
I'm going to play a clip from the Bart Winkler show first.
Okay.
And then we're going to dive into, yes, it's true, a Gary Wolfel tweet.
I did see this. This is a good one. Gary popped off with this one.
We need to dissect the Gary Wolfel tweet. But let's start with this. Bart, I wanted to thank you. As I laughed this morning hearing some of your podcast from your show last night, I heard this.
Winning that hunk of metal, as was given out to them by Rob Manfred, just very climactic, Paul, and very lame because the
correctly called out Paul.
Because had you not, I would have said climactic in my own head as I'm listening.
People are just like, oh, what the fuck?
You're a professional radio man. It's climactic. No. I
had one of the worst calls I ever had last night.
Who was it? What was it? Or who was it?
Some guy telling me thank you for taking the Pacers or the Thunder because then he bet the Pacers. And then about how his son is always like 90% right with predictions and he thinks it's a sign from God.
They just don't care.
Because his Jewish wife named him Jacob. That's what he said.
With a K, I hope.
And then he got the middle name and he named him. I don't even remember. But then his cousin, like he plays baseball with his cousin, and his cousin always gets the attention and, not his son. So this is like a special thing for his son. And it's like, I let it go on too long because it seemed like a point was coming up.
Yeah. Again, the reason
then I pretended to pound tequila after.
Pretended with a wink or pretended?
Well, I do have a mixed drink every night on my show.
What?
Yep. Come on, this is a classic Bart joke.
I don't know if I remember it.
Yeah, just take 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, have a little water.
My mistake.
I need 2 glasses just to get through this. Oh, fuck, I fucked up the joke. Cut that out in post. Sorry.
Tim.
You've done that before too, haven't you? On the national show? You've just
randomly
said Tim.
Tim fucked me over. He's got a 9 to 5 now.
Really? Doing what?
I don't know. He's had like 5 jobs in the last year.
But in TV or not in TV?
No.
Huh.
And he's not like, he just wants a different job. He's just like, AI's coming for us all, but Tim Shea will always find employment.
Are you guys watching the Apple show, the Seth Rogen Apple show, The Studio?
I'd like to. We're trying to coordinate wife and me, and we're in the house for 3 hours at a time each day, and they're usually sleeping. Yeah,
we can usually sneak in like 30 minutes of TV a week, and that recently has, ever since Righteous Gemstones was been over, been The Studio, and they just did an episode. Well, to me, it was I don't know how many weeks ago it aired, but it was AI taking over the animating jobs.
Oh, yeah, those are torched.
In Hollywood.
Those are cooked.
I thought my golden parachute one day would be narrating audiobooks, but that's no. There probably won't even be people who write books. We'll just have the robots do that. Certainly not going to have people reading books. Golden parachute, meaning like, could I make $40,000 a year? Could I exist above the poverty line doing that? When I say golden, that's not really a golden parachute. That's a trash bag with handles. But I thought maybe that would be a nice,
and thus still more money than currently. No.
Yeah. So,
maybe. I don't want
parachute of some kind. Anywho,
Bart, you get to have the pleasure on national radio tonight to mention one Gary Wolfel, because he's viral today.
Yeah, everyone always picks up what he says as if they should be doing that.
Why can't you get picked up on anything? Ever.
I don't exist.
Wolfel can?
Huh?
Gary Wolfel can, though. Just make something up.
Different
These fans
battlefield.
don't care. Yeah, that's true.
I don't exist.
Could there be a Giannis Antetokounmpo Jason Kidd reunion in New York? There's a report the Knicks are asking Dallas officials permission to speak to Kidd about their vacant head coaching position. Yesterday, I was told the Knicks are preparing to make a tsunami-type offer to acquire Antetokounmpo from the Bucks. Kidd once coached Giannis in Milwaukee. Clearly, this is like, whether it's reporting or it's just connecting of dots, or he talked to someone who thought it could be a possibility. Regardless, it's clearly a thing that the Knicks want to talk about, right? Like, it doesn't take a lot to be like, do you think the Knicks should like look into a Giannis? Like, obviously, right? Here's what I want to ask. All things are on the table from the Knicks. All things. Brunson, Towns, OG, Bridges, picks. Dare I say Tyler Kolek? I don't think you can throw him into a Giannis trade. That's just too rich. But is there any offer? Again, Giannis asks out. Let's go through all the steps. I'm going to right off say, I love the Knicks roster. I'm into the Knicks, but I'm going to say, so is there anything the Knicks any tsunami type offer of 200 cents on the dollar, stuff that you want from the Knicks, that the Knicks could put together that type of offer for you? My answer, I'll off best, There's pieces I like, there's players I like, but if it's Giannis for those pieces, even if you are able to dump a Kuzma into that, even if you are able to dump a Connaughton into that, to me, it's still, I'm going to tell you this. Here are some Knicks picks. They have only the number 50 in this upcoming draft. It's Memphis' second rounder. They have their own first in 2026 and Washington's top 10 protected in 2026. They have to swap out their 2028. You basically be in 2030 before you're getting another like unprotected Knicks pick. So they have 2 firsts in 2026. They have a right swap with Brooklyn in 2028, and then they have a 2030 first round pick of their own. There is a tsunami type offer the Knicks could present the Bucks that you would be interested in as John Horst. Or.
Well, I think that there is even a tsunami type offer.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have the.
I see this. How? Because it's the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, right.
You don't have ammunition to get Giannis.
No,
well, we're done with the Raptors now after being done with a couple other teams.
Yeah, right. We were just kind of moving through the cycle.
Well, he wants to pair with KD
in Toronto.
Yeah, 37-year-old Kevin Durant,
obviously, who's been on a winning streak recently in his career. Durant has.
Everyone's on the table, including Scotty Barnes.
No, I think it's the Rockets, Spurs, and Thunder that are really the only teams.
Should we be pulling against the Thunder?
It's my follow-up question.
No, we should be rooting for the Thunder because if they lose, they're going to go want to get Giannis.
Well, that's what I'm Paul probably. But yeah, there you go. Yeah,
you knew.
I don't want to trade Giannis.
Yeah, what the fuck, Paul?
Listen, if the Thunder had lost to the Nuggets, Giannis is a Thunder player next year. I mean, you could have just said, "Here, give me everything," and they would have said, after losing in the second round after a 68-win season, sounds good.
I don't want to trade him.
I don't either. I don't. Well, I'm saying in the preface of like, I don't want to say, hey, we're trading you. I do hope he asks out. I know that's a little bit of a nuance to take.
A bit.
No, but I'm serious. Like, it's best for the Bucks to trade him.
I don't think it is.
Anyway.
I think you trade I think they're just going to be mired in shit anyway.
Of course. They're going to be mired in shit whenever this is over anyways. There's no perfect button they can push where it's like, well, we had Giannis and now we'll be set up. That's not happening. It's going to be shit either way.
All of this is under the assumption that Giannis says, I want to be traded. I want to be traded to New York. I want to be traded. I want to be traded to.
Sure.
He's liking tweets when people are like, he's not leaving.
He's not. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. But
I don't know. Do you guys know that I see him at swimming?
Who? Middleton?
Giannis.
You see Giannis
at swimming.
At swimming.
Yeah.
Just one time. You saw him once.
Like every other week.
If only.
Get out.
Yeah, we talked.
Did he get in the pool with this kid?
He did last time.
That's cool.
Imagine being one of the other fat dads.
Imagine being you.
I don't want to do this, honey. I got to take my shirt off. Oh, it's just other dads like you. The Greek freak gets in the pool.
I wonder if he can swim. I wonder if he's a good swimmer. Probably.
You got in and out of the pool pretty good.
He probably touched the bottom of the deep end on his tippy toes.
This started, I think, on Tuesday. I saw Nick Wright talking about the Knicks after they fired Tibbs, whenever that was, Monday or Tuesday. Nick Wright making the point on the show. He's like, this is the Knicks trying to lay the groundwork for Giannis, because we've seen teams do this before, like make decisions, which love the take, great content, but so stupid. And I don't doubt that NBA teams do that, which is stupid. How many stories have we seen over the last 5 years where it's like the Heat are laying the groundwork for 2024 for Giannis, and it's 2021. It's like, well, no wonder you guys can't win shit. You're focused on like what could happen, what might happen years down the road. Jason Kidd is currently the coach of the Mavs. He's currently employed elsewhere. And are we sure that, like, they know that Jason Kidd wasn't the coach with the Bucks when they won the title, right? Like Jason Kidd was the guy who got fired so the Bucks could hire the guy to win the title, who then they fired too.
Does Brunson want to play for Kidd? Didn't he already leave that situation?
Did leave that situation.
Bart, I hadn't considered that. See, but that's what Brunson, a nationally minded radio host brings to the table.
But Brunson did want to stay in Dallas, and Dallas was like, 4 years for 50 for Brunson? Absolutely not. That's a true story.
It's pretty stupid in hindsight.
Dude, the Mavericks had Luka, Brunson, and Rick Carlisle at the same time and said no thank you to all of it.
Well, they could get Anthony Davis.
At 32, injured, like, yeah, bad. Grant, there's a tsunami-type offer that exists from the Knicks that would entice you as the Bucks? Or mm-mm?
No. I think the only offers that would entice me are like the tippy-top offer from Houston, the tippy-top offer from San Antonio, and maybe the Thunder. Although still probably not. Like, I'm still lower on the I'm not pleasuring myself to the idea of the Thunder dominating the league for the next 10 years.
I'm not either. I don't like any team dominating the league.
Okay, good. You're smart then.
Yeah.
I can't believe all the takes before game one even started. People were like, if you don't like the Thunder, you better get used to them. They're going to be here a lot more.
I still think that's true, Grant. I'm not saying that's what I want.
I do not. Why? Because they have more picks to select children?
Because the roster is incredible, and they get every pick seemingly right.
It's fine. The roster's fine.
Like, what would Case and Wallace be on 26 other teams? Like,
I don't know. I barely know who that is, and I've been watching the postseason. So maybe this is just me being I've seen so many teams that are so well positioned the last couple of years. Oh, that team will repeat. Celtics didn't even put up a fight in the second round this year.
Christian Wood would call you.
That team will be different. They have Mark Diagonelli. They have that.
Diagonelli?
Yeah, that's a good reference.
I like that. You're a casual, Grant. You're a casual.
I thought the NBA, fine, sure. Not Harry Potter, though.
No,
but I'll wear the NBA thing. I don't know. So many people are just, maybe I have vision and I can look at the ground before me and see, look at all these rat traps just everywhere, and I'm going to step around them. But then everyone else just can't help but stick their big fat toe right in there. Like, oh, this finals looks like it's over. Snap. Oh, the Thunder, better get used to them. The over-under is set at 4.5 in the next decade. How many would take? Step in there. Snap. Like, I don't know why people keep saying these things and doing these
Grant,
things.
you get $1 million if you're right, nothing if you're wrong. The result of this NBA Finals series is what? In how many games? Which team in how many games? Right, knowing that it's 1-0 Pacers. $1 million if you're right.
Pacers will win the finals.
You would $1 million on the line. You're going to Indiana.
We're watching the games, right? Am I the only one with the television?
I watched it.
Yeah, the Pacers could not have played worse, and Halliburton couldn't have played worse.
They know it too.
Yeah.
Who's they?
You can't, like, I want to take Thunder in 6 for $1 million, but you're going to tell me they're going to go on this 1 in 75 million run to lose in the finals? It has to be paid off with a title.
Or is 1 in 75 million the best it could be, and they're not going to do 1 in 120 million because eventually
easy there.
It's going to run out.
What's going on here? Let's calm down with the numbers. I just another thing that drives me up a wall that everyone does is game one of a series happens, and then everyone does their little reaction podcast and goes, "Nice game, but the other team's going to win in 5." It's like, oh, really? Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. And then it'll happen again in game 2. And people are like, I still kind of like the other team though. All right, sure. Let's just not even televise the games. Why even play the games? But you all have your opinion so clearly mapped out. Fine.
Let's not forget a radio host, though, with the Bucks down 2-0 who put out chairs for his team to win despite being down 0-2.
Correct.
Some might have said that was an interesting take.
Well, I'm just better at watching playoffs than most people.
Who do you think is going to win the finals then? What would your answer be?
He said Thunder and 6 for $1 million, right, Bart? Uh-oh. He's lit. Uh-oh, I see it coming. What do you got?
I'm still holding out hope that the Thunder win in 5.
That would be great.
You know, the finals used to be 2-3-2.
It did. Thank you.
People forget.
Can you imagine that in hockey with the travel? It's like a 7-hour flight from Orlando to Winnipeg.
Could you imagine if the Pacers won game 1 and then had 3, 4, and 5 at home? The series would be over.
Well, that's why that format was stupid. Is if you if you just
It's a
win one of the first 2, then you can close it out at home without ever going back.
It is ridiculous.
And to play 3 times in a row on the road as the 1 seed.
It is ridiculous, by the way, that they played this game on Thursday night and they will reconvene on Sunday night.
Stop. I'm not enduring this from you. We had to take comments all day on the 10 to 2 show. It's 2 days off. You act like we're going away for a month.
It's 68 hours off. It's 3 days. You got to round that up to 3 days off.
Sure. Look, if you want to do one game in between the days where they don't have to travel, fine.
Right. They're not traveling.
Okay. Then I'll meet you in the middle. I will meet you in the middle. If they're not traveling, you get 1 day. If you're traveling, you get 2. That's fine.
Totally fine.
But again, everyone dials it up, and it's Freems. Freems was the worst at this. It's like, oh, when's the next game? Don't even care. I'm going to bitch about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to bitch about how long we have to wait.
I'm saying if
Freems is bitching.
He always this is every year. Oh, it's the NBA. You know, you got to take a week off.
This is the NBA. I've been shocked that they've been like every other day up until this point.
Everyone complains that it's every other day in the second round, and then we get to the final. Wow, you got to wait until Sunday? What?
I would like a couple of days to breathe from that one.
No, if I'm running the league, if I'm in charge of the league, I want to build off the momentum of last night more quickly than this.
Yeah, and your game's going to be in Sunday night on prime time.
Way better than Friday.
Or yeah. Hey, it's summer. Let's play on a Saturday night.
People are saying, but you could have done. But if you really are desperate for Sunday, then you do Friday, Sunday.
Yeah, but then you're playing a game on.
Then the series didn't start till Friday, and then we're like, God, how long is it gonna be?
I don't know.
We're circumcising the mosquito here. We could talk semantics about the scheduling, but I just don't get and people get so mad about it.
I'm not so mad about it.
I'm not saying you are, but I think if you listen to a lot of sports radio, like the middle-aged man, like that's his take today is like, we're going to do 15 minutes on why they wait so long in between games. And
the middle-aged man take should be why did ABC neuter their finals broadcast?
They just
why do they make it look like
Van Gundy and Mark Jackson?
No, but they don't show the starting lineups. They don't show any of the anthem. They don't show. They just don't make it feel big.
It is why the NFL just gets all this shit right, all of it.
They take 2 weeks between the Super Bowl.
Does the NFL get everything right, or do they just avoid getting everything wrong?
The NFL gets everything right because there's only 18 games or 17 games
or 16 games. We keep going up.
They like, why can't baseball figure out like because there's 162 games.
Too many. Yeah, I mean for to have the same effect as a country, as a sport. Yeah, agree.
That's why I'd like to see one season where baseball plays a 17-game schedule and see if we react the same way like it's football.
Would love it.
If there was just a Brewer game a week, do you understand how big those would be?
Yeah.
Those would be fucking huge.
We're reliving the 2020 conversations because the 60 games and then every game is worth 2.5.
They should have done it in 2020. They just should have said, fuck it. Let's make an NFL schedule.
Every Sunday.
Oh my God. Monday Night Baseball. Put the Pirates and Marlins on Thursday.
If you had one game a week, the price of that number one starting pitcher who could go would be enormous.
Mm-hmm. They'd be $85 million men.
Oh, for sure.
I kind of want to trade Freddie Peralta, our number one.
I'm liking your zag here. This is good. Your Freddie Peralta zag.
Well, it's not that I want and I want to make it very clear. I don't want the Brewers to sell, which is why this is such an FU take.
You want Freddie Peralta to ask out.
Right, yeah. I want them to continue to try to win. My point is trading away Freddie Peralta will not impede them. I want them to do what they attempted to do with Josh Hader.
Grant, you've believed in this team all along. Or
I still don't believe in him.
I know.
Are you
You
kidding me? No,
I'm playing into your
Although I
online
did say
persona.
I think I did say that they would be back above 500 at some point. I did believe that. They're not that bad. They're just not that good.
By the way, my most memorable tweet of this week in an eventful week of tweets was Grant asking Grok what Grant Bills has said about the Brewers.
Grok cooked me there.
I use Grok a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, I would too. Google
sports,
AI
you
is
need
such
to
shit.
pretend, yeah.
If I see somebody like calling, it says like Braves. I'm just like, give me 2 talking points on the Braves.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's smart.
I for as much as I hate Twitter, even though it's back on my phone, because I was going to Safari and then putting in like Twitter, and like I wasn't on Twitter any less. It just wasn't on my phone.
Yeah.
You fraud.
That lasted all of a day. Seriously, it did, right? It lasted a day.
I never got off of Twitter. I just don't really use it. Although I think I fired off 2 tweets yesterday.
Grant, the best Harry Potter book is Prisoner of Azkaban.
It's been so long since I've read the books, but definitely my favorite movie.
Was Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yeah.
I was going to ask
That's
you
the one, because I'm a man of a certain age. That's when it's like Hermione, hello, like, as a when I was younger. Obviously, she's a child.
You were like 6 years younger than she is, aren't you?
I don't know how old she is.
I would think they're like in their early mid-30s. The trio.
She's 35. Yeah, So
did you see Tom Felton is going to go be Draco on Broadway?
Yeah, and people were dragging him for that.
Why? Really?
I don't know. People are like, what a sad career. I'm like,
I think that's really cool.
It means he still has love. That means he still has love for the character in the universe. How many child actors be like, I don't even want to think about.
I know, like Fred and George Weasley, those 2 guys, like they still are part of the universe. Like they just were part of like the opening of Epic Universe, the new Harry Potter world there. They were part of that. So was the guy who played Professor Flitwick.
The little person?
Mm-hmm.
I'm editing all of that out, whatever the fuck you guys are talking about.
Oh, sure. Yeah. They're talking about a theatrical universe. That's taboo on this podcast. That won't fly.
The HPU, the Harry Potter.
Anywho, what's up next, Paul?
What's up next is I want to do our Wait, do we have to talk about Rodgers? Is this a requirement?
How about UFL predictions? We've got the Battlehawks and the Defenders coming up this weekend.
Bart, I've not heard you if you took an Aaron Rodgers victory lap yet on the national show.
All I said was, what I said about Rodgers was, so it wasn't later in the summer like I thought it would be, but it did play out the way that. What I'm perplexed about is why this wasn't so obvious to everyone. And I think it was, though, except for the narrative drivers.
Schefter
and Rossini and Rappaport and these guys talking about it. And, I mean, for Schefter to cry the way that he did, whining, telling Mark Chmura, what do you eat for breakfast? It's not that hard to figure it out. The morning of free agency, like...
Oh, I forgot about that.
I don't.
I did not.
I bring up Schefter's name a lot.
He's a turd.
I don't like how we've allowed him to be this.
Yeah.
We need to reject him as an industry, which I also say about another thing that
an industry that you use in your day-to-day.
Yeah.
Job. What I don't like about those narrative drivers is as soon as the signing happens, or as soon as we learn yesterday, then they all collectively go, no surprise here, not a shot. It's like, it was clear.
Our nightmare is over, finally, after much ado.
It's actually not
little ado. He visited them, and then he told them, yeah, I'll sign a little later. And then he did.
Yeah.
You know who's the best? You know who's the best? I've just become an Albert Breer guy. Like I
Oh,
listen to his
wow.
hits. He does a lot of East Coast stuff. I'll just listen to his hits on those shows. I think Breer's the best.
Is he
He's a
still
little
with
long-winded, like a little touch of wildy. You know, he can wander a little bit, but I really like Breer.
Is he still with NFL.com?
I think Sports Illustrated Monday Morning
Or Sports
Quarterback.
Illustrated, okay.
I've texted him to come on. He's even most people will be like, no, I cannot do that. And he's just never, I'll wear him down one of these days. But I do like him. But the annoying thing, the reporters, it's annoying when it's a whole saga. And then when it finally happens, they're all like, no surprise to anyone. This was always going to happen. It's like, well, then why didn't you just say that? Like, why? I don't know.
They do herd the information. Like I mean, it's in the grand scheme, it's very, who cares? But they do like control how people think about stuff.
It's Monday morning. Hey, everyone, Giannis is open to considering possibly changing. It's like that sets the tone and everything bounces off that.
What I was going to say is like it's not dissimilar what you're saying here of like for the first time in his career, Giannis is open to like what, but you can't
open.
First off, you can't say that after you have spent 8 years saying that he's open to doing that, and then saying for the first time, you can't have both.
Rodgers is quote open to playing in Nashville.
That guy, by the way, that Jared Stillman cat did some Vrabel interviews on East Coast radio to kind of like give the guys the rundown. He's actually, he's kind of funny. He's kind of a prick. Like I enjoyed it, but I just love how that thing has become lore to the show. He is quote open,
quote
joining the Titans.
Open.
Fun. I do want to do a quick. I enjoyed last year when we did our like pulse checks throughout the year on the Packers wide receiver crew. So I want to start that in June. By whatever metric you want to say makes a top receiver for a team. If you want to do it, receptions, yards, touchdowns, all three. The Packers' best wide receiver in 2025 will be Jaden Reed. Or
I'll go first if you want to mix it up. I know it's not my show.
Please.
Bart, do you feel strongly?
No, I'm just going to say a very Bart comment about all this.
Okay, well, then I'll go first. Well, and now I put you in a spot where if you go, no, I want to go, then you're an a-hole. No, Paul. I think it'll be Doubs. And it's funny.
I almost went Doubs, okay.
Because you mentioned, frame it however you want, whether it's yards or receptions. I talked about this on my show the other day because I've been saying that Doubs feels to me like the guy on the outside looking into the future. He seems like probably the guy who doesn't get extended. But here's the thing. Let's say he's their number one wide receiver, no concussions. He doesn't skip any practices, great season. And let's say he has like 1,000 yards and Jaden Reed has 900 and Kraft has 7. So he's number one, but it's close and it's not like a clear-cut number one. But what if Romeo Doubs is always the guy on third down and fourth down? He's always the guy in the red zone. Him and Jordan Love create this connection that's clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. Well, then don't you have to re-sign that guy?
Yes.
Regardless of like, he's not a 2,000, like 1,500 yards. Like he's not leaps and bounds more productive than the other guys. But if him and Jordan Love are able to create this thing where they can like, read each other's mind, little signals and little things, I think then you have to re-sign that guy. And that's how I will measure it this year. Not necessarily by stats because I'm stupid with numbers anyways, but like, do those two, do Love and Doubs kind of create something as a duo that doesn't exist in any other player on the team? Like, that's how I'm going to measure it. And I think, So I will say to Reed, but to Doubs, I suppose.
Bart, I'll set you up so you can do your Bart comment. The Packers' best wide receiver in 2025 will be Jaden Reed. Or
I just don't give a shit.
I'm glad I went first.
I was going to say Reed. I might even say Golden still again.
Sure.
People are interested in it, though. People like to talk about who the number one receiver is.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked, actually, that you, as a fantasy guy in 10 leagues, whatever it is, that you're like, I don't really care. That does not.
I don't take any of them.
You don't take Packers wide receivers? Is what you're saying?
Oh, by the way, if we have to pay in March for these dynasty leagues, I'm out.
You are such a whiner.
I think fantasy football is closer to dead than it ever has been before. We we can now just bet on any games that we want. And I remember when I was in middle school and high school, we used fantasy football for a group chat. We talked in there. Now we just have iMessage. We don't need it anymore. It's not. We don't need fantasy football anymore.
I disagree.
Side note.
Do you think the league was more harmful than helpful for fantasy football?
I don't know.
The TV show?
Yeah.
Oh,
I knew what you meant. I don't know.
My punishment last year, because I got last in our league, was
punishments are so stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't do it, and they're still giving me shit for it. I'm like, I'm not 16. Like
fantasy football, I don't believe fantasy football should be a way to connect people. I think it should just be a thing you do.
Oh, okay.
Like, let's get together, league. How about you fuck off?
Then I don't think but that's the thing. If it's not helping me be closer with friends, I don't think I need it. I don't need
just
a
like
work
to set
league.
my lineups.
It's fun. And this comes from someone who didn't do it for like 15 years, and I'm so back.
Interesting.
I was out for a long time.
Should we do a Winklerverse league?
That's another thing that I hate.
I'm in.
Bracket pools too. Like, no, I'm just gonna like watch the games. Or maybe I won't. If I have something going on, then I just won't. And I don't. Well, my bracket. I fill those out and then I forget who I pick. I'm
an MLB Survivor and the Mariners fucked me this week and I'm all like heartbroken.
Is that when you do baseball Survivor?
Huh?
For baseball Survivor is like based on a whole series?
You got to win half the week.
Half the week.
So the Mariners could still sweep the Angels and I'm safe, but
if it's a 6-game week, how does that
I
work?
was going to take the Rockies this week. I had a feeling. Then they swept the Marlins.
If a team has a 6-game week and they go 3-3, what happens?
You get a pass.
Okay.
So I never take teams that play every day because then you have to win an extra game.
Yeah, it's true.
See, that's already more thought than I'm willing to put into. It's just so much work. I tried to do NBA, a dynasty league. By the second week of the season, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Grant, do you think of yourself as lazy? I'm genuinely asking because you like this take to me doesn't line up with who I know you as.
He likes to watch the games, Paul.
Yeah, like that's the thing. If it's a game that I'm interested in, I'm going to watch. And if I'm not interested, making fantasy or like betting things around it is not going to get me to watch.
I'm the same way. I'm
lazy.
I'm not outside of fantasy football.
Grant's not chasing waterfalls. He's just sticking to the rivers and the lakes that he's used to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literal for him.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
I do like rivers and lakes. I listened to Bart's show the other night, walking along the river. I think I figured it out with your show, Bart, because Paul listens religiously. I listen here and there, but I tell you what, your show hits so hard when I listen live. It's got the rhythm and the pacing for when it's on, because that's when you guys are doing it. So when I'm existing in that space, it's great. I was listening to you and Carlos the other night, but then if I listen to it first thing in the morning, it's like the pace. It's not.
But you're the same way with TV, though, right? You need to see it live, and I don't care either for that.
Maybe.
Well, it's because I'm an old-fashioned radio guy. I'm not the podcast guy. Well, even though this is a podcast,
I need to see sports live, because once it's passed, I don't need to go back and see it. I've missed it. It happened.
I crashed last night in the third quarter and then got up and watched it.
But at that point, see, you're not watching sports. You're watching film. I don't watch film. I watch games. When it's not live.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're watching film.
You're watching film. You're grinding tape.
As soon as you said that, I was like, that's a great take.
Which, it's great for you because you want to see I don't care. Like, I want to watch it live and experience it and then see what everyone's saying when they react. But if I miss it, I'm like, I'll get the next one. I missed the boat.
But doesn't that part of that, like every time you say like, oh, I saw online that so-and-so, it's like, you're always relaying messages from dumb people. Like the consensus.
Everyone is dumb except for us three.
And people that listen to the show.
They're all really good.
Mm-hmm.
Smart and good looking.
Good people.
All right. I got to check on my kid.
I'm with Doubs, though. And if he does it in a certain way, I think he actually, we might swing around the other way. I'm like, no, you can't let Doubs go. Him and Jordan Love have something.
There's still a number, though. When you were saying that, Grant, there was still a number where I'm like, if Doubs has like this unbelievable season, and then he's like, this next offseason, he's like, I want $22 million a year. I'd be like, oh, God. I know I haven't seen that yet. I haven't
That's so
seen it.
cheap for a wide receiver.
I'm not saying it's like expensive, but I just don't see him yet as
Sure.
I see him as like, you know what? If you have even a good season, I'm happy to give you 13 to 15. But even if he has a great season, I don't know if he has like that next level type of. Maybe he does. Maybe we'll find out. I think he's a really, really solid wide receiver, though.
I agree. I think we'll have to see it. And he's bulked up. This is the best shape of his life. I don't know if you've seen the pictures from training camp or OTAs. I suppose next week is mandatory mini camp, but
yeah.
In any event.
Goodbye.
Art, wrap us up. Could you put a bow on this thing as you are the host?
Yeah,
Thanks
I'm
for
good.
stopping
It's good to
into
talk to
it.
you guys.
You too.
We'll reconvene.
With the catchphrase.
Do I have a catchphrase?
Thanks for stopping.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for stopping into the Winklerverse.
There you go.